Okay, in this question on equations, we are told that Jeannie bought a health drink for $6,400. She paid X dollars for each liter of the drink. Find, in terms of X, an expression for the number of liters she bought. Okay, so if you were to sort of represent it, okay, you have a container, okay, filled with this health drink. So let's just say that the total quantity is represented by L, and you pay X dollars per liter, okay, and the total number of liters is L. So X multiplied by L will give you the total cost of the drink, which is $6,400. So the number, an expression for the number of liters, which is L, is equal to 6,400 over X. Okay, so that is your part A answer. For part B, okay, so let's do part B over here. We are told that she gave away 8 liters of the drink to her friends. She sold the remainder of the drink for $50 per liter more than what she paid for. Okay, so write down an expression in terms of X first, how much money she received. So let's understand how to come up with an expression. So we know that the total number of liters that she originally had was 6,400 over X, okay, which is from part A. And from this total amount, she gave away 8 liters. Okay, so this is the total number of liters remaining, and she sold it for $50 more than the original per liter price. So the original per liter price is X. Right, so the original per liter price is X dollars per liter, and she sold it for X plus 50. Okay, $50 more than the original amount that she bought. So this is the initial expression. Of course, we can't just leave it like that. We need to do some simplification here. Okay, so let's do that now. So in terms of expansion, let's do this and this first. So over X multiplied by X, I get 6,400 multiplied by 50, 6,400 over X multiplied by 50, I get 320,000 over X minus 8X minus 400. Okay, and simplifying it further, I get 320,000 over X minus 8X plus 6,000. Okay, 6,400 minus 400, I get 6,000. So that is the original expression that we have, okay, for the part B here. Okay, so this is the expression to show the sum of money that she has received. Okay, in part C, we are told that she made a profit of $2,960. Okay, and how do we now write an expression to show that it reduces to this this equation here? Okay, so if we know that she made a profit, okay, so let's write down an expression for that. So the total amount of money she made from the sale is this equation here. Okay, this one that we just solved. So this is the total amount of money that came in, okay, based on the sales. And we know to get a profit, we must subtract the original price that she paid. And the original price that she paid, okay, if you look in the question, it is $6,400. Okay, so we're going to subtract 6,400 from here, and what we get is the profit. Okay, and the profit that she got is this $2,960 here. Okay, so that is what we're going to put here, 2,960. Okay, so let's go ahead to solve this. Okay, so 320,000 over X minus 8X plus 6,000 minus 6,400 is minus 400. 2960 I bring over becomes minus 2960 equals to 0. Okay, so 320,000 x minus 8x minus 3360 equals to 0. Okay, of course, usually we don't like to have the unknown variable in the denominator, so we can multiply both sides, okay, by x. Okay, that will get rid of the denominator. So what I will get in the end here is 320,000 minus 8x square minus 3360x equals to 0. And if I divide the whole expression by 8, then that means times 1 over 8, and this also times 1 over 8, what do I get? So 320,000 divided by 8, I get 40,000 minus x square minus 420x equals to 0. Okay, and usually the highest power of x, the coefficient, we would like to keep it at a positive sign. So what we can do now is I can multiply my left hand side and right hand side by -1. Okay, so what I will get is a sign change for all the elements here. So I'll get x squared plus 420x minus 40,000 equals to 0. Okay, and that is okay, and that equation here is what you have been asked to prove here. Okay, so that is solved. That is proven. Now we're supposed to solve. Okay, so when we say solve, we're supposed to find for the x value. So let's do that now. So I can do it on this side here. So in C part 2, I can say the x squared plus 420x minus 40,000 equals to 0. Okay, you can just pump it into your calculator to get an answer. Okay, I can just use the cross method as well. So for 40,000, you can divide it into 500 multiplied by 80. Okay, so I get x squared here. This I get 40,000. So since I know that I'm expecting a negative sign here, so I put a negative sign. So from both of these elements, when I multiply, I should get negative 40,000. Alright, that means that one of these numbers must become a negative number. And if I look at the middle term here, since I want a plus, I can safely say that the negative should be assigned to the smaller number here, and the positive should be assigned to the bigger number here. So what I'll get here is 500x minus 80x, so I get plus 420x here. Okay, and that gives me x plus 500 and x minus 80 equals to 0. So x equals to 80 or minus 500. Okay, so when you have two values for a quadratic equation, in a problem statement like this, usually you can infer that one of the answers would not be acceptable because a negative may not make sense. Okay, so in this case, what is x? X is the amount of money. Okay, so in this case, definitely x cannot be a negative number. So we can say safely that x equals to 80 would be the correct answer. Even though when you solve it, you get two answers, x equals to 80 is the acceptable answer based on this question here. So once we know that, we can go on to solve the last part, which is part D. Find the number of liters of drink that Genie sold. Okay, so how much did Genie actually sell? Okay, so let me do the last part here. So the original amount she bought was 6,400. So this is part D here. 6,400 over X. That's what she bought, and she gave away 8. Correct? And she gave away 8. So she sold the rest. So what she sold is the amount she bought, 6,400 over x, subtract 8. So 6,400 over 80 minus 8, you'll get 72. Okay, so 72 liters is the number of drinks that Jeannie sold. Okay, so this is quite a comprehensive question, and the main part in this is understanding the question and coming up with the correct formulas, okay, to solve the equations and get the correct answer. The good part of these questions, or some of these questions, is even if your part A and part B, if you happen to make some mistake, at least here you have an equation that you know that you're supposed to reach. Okay, so this sort of gives you a guide on where you should be headed. Okay, so if your equation in part B doesn't quite make you come here, then something is missing. Some mistake you may have made along the way. Okay, so such questions are good, okay, in terms of the fact that they give you some midpoint, okay, through the question, so that you have an idea on the direction that you're heading. Okay, so